Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're doing a full deep dive on Bruno Fernandes. And the story right now is getting pretty big. There are fresh reports that Bruno's contract actually contains a clause which could allow him to move away from Manchester United next summer. A clause that applies to clubs outside England and is reportedly around 65 euros million. This has changed the conversation completely. So, could Bruno leave next summer? What really happened with the Saudi approach this summer? And why did Bruno end up staying at least for now? Let's break it all down. Several outlets are now reporting that Bruno's deal includes a release clause of roughly Euro 65 meters. But crucially, it applies to clubs outside of England, and it must be triggered at the correct time. That means Premier League rivals can't just swoop in, but big European clubs or others abroad could. If this is true, it's huge. Euro 65 meters for Bruno, a club captain, a consistent creator, a player who still produces goals and assists. Looks like a bargain in today's transfer market. That fee changes the risk profile for United. They've protected themselves from domestic rivals, but left a potential exit route to foreign clubs. If Bruno gets an offer from a proper title challenging side, plus the club triggers the clause at the correct window, that could be tempting. Especially because Bruno is in his 30s and still hungry to win. That Euro 65 meters fee makes those moves viable for top continental teams. For them, it's not an outrageous outlay for a guaranteed leader. Remember this summer saga? Al Hilal and other Saudi clubs made extremely serious offers for Bruno, reported as huge wage packages and large potential transfer fees. Multiple major outlets reported that the Saudis proposed life-changing money to him. Reuters and other outlets confirmed that Bruno turned down the Al Hilal approach and chose to stay at United, citing his wish to play at the highest level. To be clear, those offers were real. His agent held talks. Money like that close to $1 million a week in some reports was on the table. But Bruno decided not to take it. That choice tells you something about his priorities right now. Bruno has been refreshingly honest. He admitted he had conversations with Saudi representatives and that the offers were massive. But he says he stayed because Ruben Amorim and the club told him he was still part of the project. He said he felt wanted, that the club wanted to recruit around him and keep him as a central figure. He also stated that if the club had told him they wanted to sell him, he would have accepted that, but that wasn't the message he received. Writers plus one. That level of transparency is rare, and is why many fans feel respect for him. He didn't pretend the rumors didn't exist. He acknowledged them and explained his decision. A couple of important caveats. While several reliable outlets now report the Euro 65 meters external clubs clause, there are still differences in exactly how the clause would operate. Timing. Whether the player must agree, typically he would, and any possible exceptions. Some reporting suggests the clause only works if activated early enough in a given window. So, it's not an automatic sell Bruno next summer button. It creates possibility, not inevitability. From watching Bruno and hearing his words, here's what I believe. Bruno still wants trophies. He's ambitious and wants to play at the highest level. If United's project doesn't progress quickly, Bruno could reasonably look to move where the chance to win is higher. He values footballing projects more than pure cash. He rejected a massive Saudi offer earlier because he wants to keep competing in Europe. You know what? Emotionally, I don't want Bruno Fernandes to leave Manchester United. He's our captain. He's been carrying this team through some awful years. The goals, the assists, the leadership. He's been everything you could ask for. But if I'm being realistic, I actually think it might be time for him to move on. And I know that sounds harsh, but hear me out. I've got 3 big reasons why I think letting Bruno go next summer could actually be the best thing for Manchester United right now. Let's be honest, Bruno just doesn't fit the system we're playing under Amorim. This 3-4-3 setup means the midfielders have to cover so much ground defensively, and Bruno simply isn't built for that role. He's not a defensive midfielder. That's never been his strength. You can see it in games. When he's forced to track back, he's often a step behind, leaving huge spaces behind him. It's not because he's lazy. It's just not his natural game. He thrives when he's free to roam, to create, to press high. But right now, in this system, he's being asked to do something that doesn't play to his strengths. And that hurts the team balance. We end up losing control in midfield because Bruno's doing 2 jobs, creating and defending. And he can't do both at the top level anymore. So for me, it's not about him being a bad player, it's about fit. He's a world-class talent in the wrong role. Reason 2, he's blocking the rebuild. This is the big one for me. We're in a rebuild. We're trying to find a new identity, a new core, and I feel like Bruno, unintentionally, is slowing that process down. I have to admit the reality. He's 30. Look at Cunha. You can tell he's got the potential to be our next big attacking leader. He's got that energy, that control, that drive to carry the ball forward. But Bruno always demands the ball, always wants to dictate everything, and it kind of limits how much Cunha can express himself. And then there's Mbuemo, a kid with real composure and potential. But as long as Bruno's starting every single game, playing 90 minutes no matter what, these younger players don't get the rhythm or the responsibility they need to grow into future leaders. Look, even Arsenal had to let go of Ozil. Liverpool sold Coutinho. Both teams used that moment. Letting go of a big-name creative player. To rebuild properly, find a new identity, and come back stronger. Sometimes, losing your star player can actually free the rest of the team. That's where I think we are with Bruno. He's been brilliant, but maybe it's time to hand the keys to Cunha, to Mbuemo, to the next generation. And finally, the financial side. The transfer fee could transform our depth. If those reports are true, and Bruno's got a release clause around €65 million, that's massive for United's rebuild. That money could fund 1 or 2 crucial signings, especially a proper defensive midfielder, like Baleba or Wharton, someone who fits Amorim's system perfectly, who can anchor that midfield and give our attacking players more freedom. Think about it, you sell Bruno at a fair price, you reinvest smartly, you build a deeper, more balanced squad. That's how you evolve. It's what top clubs do. They make tough decisions at the right time. I will say this again, I love Bruno Fernandes. He's been a warrior for this club, and I'll never forget how he carried us when nobody else could. But football is about evolution, and right now, I think Manchester United need to evolve, even if it means saying goodbye to Bruno. It's not disrespect, it's just time. Time to build a new system, a new leader, a new era. So yeah, emotionally, I hate to see him go. But practically, I think it might be the right call. Will you guys sell Bruno next summer if the Euro 65 meters clause is real? Or do you think he still has a part to play in this rebuild? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I really want to hear what other fans think about this one. And finally, please subscribe United Hub channel. I really hope you guys support the channel. Thank you. See you in next video.